I must get home to my collection of carved bones. Such pretty things. Brought all the way from Pandysia. How warm they feel in my hands. There's power there. Something I could learn to harness. That's why I've been trying to be a proper lady again. With clean nails and a perfumed handkerchief. My physician says if I'm still behaved by the end of Hearths, that they might send me home. So I smile and curtsy, and ask for tea in the afternoon, comb my hair, drink my medicines, and I stop trying to bite the attendants. Well, that's good. Thank you. I think that was everything. And now we just gotta get out of here. Ali. Can we open this button? Yes, yes we can. Is there mayhaps a side section we can go out? Yes, yes, I know. Yes, here it was. Oh. That was not worth it.
Can we leave this place yet? I don't like it. Ready now?
Yes.
Let's get back to the ship.
Is Ian?
Did you find Sokolov?
Nope.
No, but Hypatia was the crown killer.
What? I don't believe you.
The Duke tricked her into injecting herself with a flawed version of her serum. It changed her, but there was an antidote, so she's alive. If she remembers the murders, she'll have to deal with that.
Oh,
What about Sokolov?
we never checked up on her
Talking to
assistant.
a man named Kieran Jindosh.
Oops.
Do you know him?
Everybody knows him. The grand inventor of Serkonos.
I'm sure he's fine.
And he's next. Let's hope Anton's all right.
Let's see. How much did we miss? We missed some money, and that's it. Where on earth did we miss money? Well, we got all the important stuff. Talk to Megan Foster about the best way to reach the home of Kieran Jindosh, grand inventor to the Duke of Serkonos.
In his day, Sokolov was Dunwall's genius. His inventions transformed the city. I watched from the tower as they changed the capital into a prison, and listened as he drank and laughed, telling my mother time and again how brilliant he was. After her death, Sokolov's inventions helped a tyrant take control of the empire. Now, all these years later, Kieran Jindosh is Karnaka's genius. The mad inventor who's given the Duke sinister machines that move like people but aren't. Clockwork soldiers that fight and kill. I've got to find out where Sokolov's being held and bring the old man back alive. Rescue one genius and kill the other before he creates an army of clockwork soldiers.
Not entirely certain how we're gonna manage to fight them. We already struggle with just people. That one we have read. A note from Megan Foster. Dr. Hypatia needed a place to sleep, so I cleared the stuff out of the spare cabin. I was able to sell most of it. Here's what's left of the money. It's not a lot, I know, Whale oil is expensive and under Imperial rationing decree, but you know that. Megan Foster. Edge of the world. Didn't we? Oh, okay, so it adds to. Got it. Investigating Adamire Institute. This boat Captain Megan Foster. She helped me escape the coup, but she's giving me the side eye when she thinks I'm not looking. She's all I've got for the moment. Though soon I hope Anton Sokolov will be joining us, my old teacher. Keenest intelligent in the Empire. Filthy mouth. Gone and got himself abducted. But shouldn't we have read this already? Because this is what we did. Did I miss that? Megan says he was last seen being dragged toward Adamire Institute by the Crown Killer, which makes no sense to me unless the killer is a patient there. Maybe he needs medicine or something. But how can a deranged patient be working for the Duke and Delilah? Adamire's chief alchemist might know. Alexandria Hypatia. She's been running this place for years. She's famous for curing the miners' diseases. If she knows anything, I'll make her talk. Oh, so the little exclamation point wasn't on that part. It was on that part. The Crown Killer is no more. Next, Jindosh. I finally uncovered how my enemies created the Crown Killer. What better way to erode confidence in me before the coup? If I had stopped to think about it for even a few minutes, maybe I could have kept my people's trust, but that would have required patience. And my advisors always reminded me that I have none of that particular trait. Also, how were you gonna just figure that one out? That wasn't like an obvious, but they do the classic old give a special serum to a doctor to turn him into a killer. You know, that old fare. But to use Hypatia's own serum against her. Horrible. I'm happy I could find a cure. Well, you didn't really. Her assistant did. You just. It's like following a recipe and say you invented it. She's a brilliant alchemist. Now she can continue her research to help the people of Sarkonos. I wasn't able to rescue Sokolov. He's been taken elsewhere, to Kirin Jindosh's mansion. He's the inventor of the clockwork soldier, and if he's able to use Sokolov's genius for his own plans, it might be very, very bad. I've seen his killing machines in action at Dunwall Tower. I can't allow Delilah to have such an ally. I'm sure Jindosh takes pleasure in keeping his intellectual rival captive. Well, it won't be for long, if I have any say in it. The Dreadful Whale. What a weird name. It's hard to sleep on this ship, and when I do, my dreams are troubled. Well, I'm awake now and thinking about Sokolov. I remember him at the Hound Pit's pub, so long ago, trapped like a beast in a cage. He smelled of stale piss and rotting meat, but they couldn't break him. Well, I mean, we just gave him some alcohol, and he was our best buddy. He held on to himself and picked up again as my tutor, something I needed in the aftermath of my mother's death. Beware of dignitaries bearing gifts, he used to tell me. But I was still a child, and I liked gifts. I thought nothing sounded more pleasant. Now I know better. I also found myself thinking of Callista, my old governess. She always wanted to travel the world on a big boat. Eventually she left Dunwall, then stopped writing a few months later.
She's a lot tougher than I expected. Very capable.
I assume
Am
you're
I
talking
being
about me.
dishonest? Everybody's got secrets, I guess.
Drain engine room. Another week, another leak. I wasted hours on it and couldn't get it stopped. I'll shut the water off, assuming I can find the crank wheel. Something to deal with once Sokolov is safe. Check bridge tubing done. Hauled down oil done. Buy onions done.
You might want to talk to Hypatia before you head out. She's taken one of the rooms. Just for a while.
Don't mind me, I'm just reading your stuff. Dr. Hypatia's notes. On a boat, with friends, I believe. I slept, thankfully without the usual nightmares. Perhaps the sea air does me good. The captain, Megan Foster, brought some tea earlier. Such an interesting woman. She seemed to understand about my strange disjointed memories and the feelings of dread that accompany them. As soon as I'm able, I must return to Adamire. So much of the last few months seem a blur. What was I accomplishing? What of my research into serum for the black spittle? My work was so easily derailed. I can only conclude I was suffering from a complete exhaustive breakdown. I will need time to recover.
I think.
Yeah, about
I
that.
needed to be away from Adamine.
Don't mind me. Oh, it just plays music.
Dr. Hypatia, can you remember anything that might help me? I need to find Anton Sokolov. He could be the key to unraveling the Duke's plans.
My memories are disjointed. The Duke is close to his grand inventor, Kirin Jindosh. But that man has the empathy of a mantis. He seems to both admire and despise Sokolov.
That's weirdly exact.
We visited Aramis Stilton. I liked him. But something bad happened.
More importantly, what kind of mantis were you?
Just snatches of
Oh, no.
memory.
Sorry, that's not the
Sorry.
important part.
You
Sorry.
should rest easy for a while. Maybe some of that will help.
I hope so.
Yeah, you've killed a
I'm
lot
not
of people.
sure
You
I
need your
even
rest.
fully understand what you did for me, but I owe you for helping me at Adamire. Thank you.
How's your assistant doing?
Megan must be up on deck.
Okay, I'll go to her later. Oh, that's not good. Blood of the Abel House, Chapter 4, Introduction. This is new, right? Yes. This chapter will focus on Edithia Abel, steward of Calero. With sword in hand, she swept the marshes of raiders, sacrificing her life for Soconus. She will provide newly uncovered insights into the exploit of Ravenous Abel, who built the ornate wooden bridges of Sagunto. Follow along as we map out the expansions occurring under the Abels, through which trade routes to the other isles were established, bringing riches to the nation-state. Even as waves of settlers continue to join Soconus from Morley, the Abels balanced growth against Soconan culture. In later chapters, we would detail the times of Theodanis Abel. Why can't they just be like Bill and Steve and Mary, Judy? Like, make simple names, please. True son of Soconus. Brave and benevolent, he united the East and West as no other before him. Even the rowdy people of Bastilion swore loyalty to him. One isle, one Soconus, united under House Abel. Lastly, we'll settle on Luca Abel, who rules today, partaking in feasting and merriment of all kinds, bringing joy to our fair isles. I like how it's all, oh, and they made peace and they explored, and oh, he had parties. So presumably we need something to fix that. I'm not sure if doing all these little boat quests does anything for us, but we may as well. Yes, I did for a moment think there was a door going that way.
Ramsey and the Crown Killer. 2 pieces of the puzzle.
That one we've read.
More to go.
Nothing in here. That one we've read. Don't mind me, just stealing stuff.
With a couple dozen clockwork soldiers, Jindosh changed the Empire. What would he do with an army? I wonder how recently this silvergraph image of Jindosh was made.
Oh, hello, sword.
To reach Jindosh, I'll have to take the carriage through Lower, then Upper Aventa. We'll find you, Anton. Hypatia did terrible things under the influence of her formula, but she's free now. Delilah. My aunt, if that's really true. She has a twisted way of looking at the world. I don't know Duke Luca Abel.
How do you know that? From the 5 minutes you met her?
Under Luca's father, and said Theodanis was a good man. So the Crown Killer was a tool of the Duke's coup. The murders had a calculated effect.
Oh, thank you. To the engine room. Ali. Here we go. What was that? It seems like it. Oh, alrighty. That had less steps in it than I thought. We were here. Have we read this?
Emily, or must I say?
Yes, we have. Have we read this? No, new. By Anton's Reflection on My Journey to the Pandician Continent. 4. By Anton Sokolov, Chapter 16. 2 dead on our first day on the continent, but the new world was not sated and would have one more. None other than the captain himself. His group had found a cluster of small rodents, much like rabbits or prairie moles. The lure of fresh meat provided too much of temptation for our good captain, who had dined on scant fish and the same rations as the crew all this dreary months. He was able to grab one of the creatures with his bare hands, but the docile beasts were not so tame after all. Having allowed the captain to pick it up, the creature became enraged and delivered several stings from a gland hidden in its tail. The captain complained of heat and itching where the stings had penetrated, but instead they pressed on. He died of asphyxiation within a quarter hour. It was suddenly obvious to me that this rate of attrition would not only fail to It was suddenly obvious to me that at this rate of attrition, we would not only fail to sufficiently research the continent, but we might soon lack enough crew to make the return voyage. Something had to be done to save the venture, and so I immediately declared myself captain. On my orders, the remaining crew kept to the relative safety of the beach for the duration of the week. Have you read this? No. A Reflection on My Journey to the Pandician Continent 2 by Anton Sokolov, Chapter 14. We were only miles from shore, but our approach was marred by numerous hidden reefs and jagged rocks. They lay shallow, and we spied 2 vessels that had succumbed to them some time ago. The remaining crew was uncharacteristically silent as we... Could you put more letters in there? As we edged by the weathered wrecks. The first mate declared a particularly narrow channel to be unpassable, but the captain dispatched 10 crewmen onto the submerged coral with sledgehammers. Thereafter, each chest deep in water, they pulled the Antonia Aquilo into the tiny channel with ropes. It proved a marvelous solution. However, just as we were about to lower the rope ladders, tragedy struck, as the men were beset by a school of reef-dwelling eels. And you just ruined their homes. Apparently, the toxic bites were quite painful. From the railing, we could see them swarming the men, who begged us for aid before succumbing to the paralytic effects of the toxin. I wasn't prepared to just be able to read that word, so I was kind of stumped when it just worked. Within moments, all were still in the water. We continued on in silence, and by sunset we had cleared the bars and put another anchor in a bay with red rock beach and emerald overgrowth beyond. Let's see. Okay, so we've been there. That's locked. We've been in here. Presumably we've been in here. That's where we started. So some sort of door over here was locked. There an opening? None of the hatches are open. Don't find me, I'm just, scouring your ship. Megan Foster's notebook. I'm starting to understand why Anton wanted to go to Dunwall to seek Emily's help. She's impressive. Oh, why thank you. I have to wonder if she's really suited for palace life. Maybe she wonders that herself sometimes. We could have been good friends at a time when I was running across the rooftops like she is now, watching my enemies from the shadows. I just hope she's breathing tomorrow morning so I can complain when she puts her dusty boot up on the table again. I've lost so many friends. First my sweet Deidre, others along the way. I like how, my Deidre, and also others. There was too many to mention. I can't remember. They were really good friends, I swear. Good old Aramis Stilton, who disappeared 3 years ago, and now Anton. Maybe this is my punishment. I'm bad luck. Please, Emily, bring him back. I will. I didn't read your notebook, but I just knew that you wanted me to do something. Okay. Is there no way to get into that? Oh, pardon? I don't see anything. Just opening all the doors, airing out the ship. And that's just the accounting. Just wait here. Oh, let's not fall overboard. Am I not supposed to go in there? Let's see, where was even that? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, here. Wait, has that... Maybe that's always been locked, maybe? But it's on this side. Because I can't... Let's, before we accidentally fall overboard, let's save. Because I can't open these, right? No, they have to be open for me to... I'm just checking the paint.
Let's hope your friend doesn't sink the boat while we're gone. Ready?
Sure.
Ready.
All right, let's get underway.
The Clockwork Mansion. Anton Sokolov is being held at the mansion of Kieran Jindosh, Grand Inventor to the Duke and creator of the Clockwork Soldier. Get inside, rescue Sokolov, and eliminate Jindosh before he builds an army of clockwork soldiers.
Jindosh is important to the Duke's inner circle. The Grand Guard watches his mansion, and they'll call down the entire city if they find out who you are.
I'll make sure they don't. You said there's a wall of light cutting off access to the carriage station?
Yes, but there's a black market shop nearby.
We can go shopping.
They sell on the sly. Ever use a rewiring tool?
Maybe.
Corvo taught me the theory.
Good. Get past the wall of light, then ride the carriage to where Jindosh lives. And there's a reason people are afraid of his mansion.
Is it haunted?
Emily, take care of this crazy man and his clockwork soldiers, then bring Sokolov back. He means a lot to me.
No pressure, no pressure. First we're gonna go over here. Oh, well, now my socks are wet again. That was totally worth getting wet socks over. Thank you. Okay, so there's the black market. No trespassing, alrighty. I like how I still looked up here as if there was a door even though I was there like 30 seconds ago. you. Just making sure I didn't miss anything. We're gonna need every last coin for our shopping trip. We don't care. Oh, hello.
From the ocean, coming to smash Karnaka. I screamed and fell out of bed.
Yep.
Traveling by ship horrifies me. It's unnatural. The ocean is a malignant force, exists to drive us mad or drag us down deep, where our skin and organs turn to jelly and our bones settle in.
Oops.
To make their
Well.
journey on the waves.
For you.
Land of calm, fierce wind.
Come on, let's finish
The ocean flows with no other choice.
That's not how I meant this to go, but thank you. Clockwork Soldier Basics. To all personnel. After last week's disaster, the Grand Inventor Kieran Jindosh circulated the following information related to his Clockwork Soldiers. All Grand Guard personnel should read this report. The Clockwork Soldier is protected by armored wooden doesn't sound so bad, wooden plates. If some miscreant destroys these, then there's nothing protecting the vulnerable mechanisms underneath. Oh, thank you. If something knocks off the Clockwork's head, the thing will attack anyone it can, ally or not. That means you. Okay, so let's try and get some heads off. Given the expensive optics Mr. Jindosh has provided each Clockwork with, they can see in the front and in the back. Remember that if another one of them goes haywire. If some fool is able to get close, there's a small panel on each Clockwork that can be rewired, which will avert their perception of friend and foe. Again, that means you'll get attacked. We should definitely try that one. Keep these things in mind and the Clockwork will be an asset and not a liability. 3rd Lieutenant Fiora Diaz, Lower City Technical Office, Grand Sakonan Guard.
What happened here?
They fell. So remember, you have to buy rewiring tools. Blue? Oh, just
You look like you're doing pretty. Appreciate it. I'll let you in on a secret.
oh.
I saw people coming and going recently, looking for whale oil, up to something.
Thank you.
You watch yourself.
What?
A Grand Guard aren't
Oh.
too friendly to strangers.
Oh, don't worry about them.
So many people legging it from the city.
Sorry, I'm not listening. I went off. Guess not. It's not open, is it? No, it's not. Oh, darn. Oh, right. This. Oh, geez.
Greetings. I serve with discretion. I don't know you.
I'm new to Karnaka. I need a tool that can rewire a wall of light, the kind the Grand Guard uses, and I'd prefer not to explain myself.
I can help you out, but not right now. Don't even linger here. I'm supposed to get a visit from Paolo, someone you don't want to meet. Come back later.
Understood.
You should go. We can do business another time. Like I said, Paolo is coming by.
Alrighty.
I think he's here. Hide yourself.
Is this good enough?
Yes, there is more here than corruption and pain. Don't despair.